Alright, what's going on? Welcome back. How you guys doing? It's Saturday. And once again on Saturdays, I do a series I like to call Urban Legends. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you've missed past ones, make sure you check it out on YouTube. I've been pretty good about posting them after stream and getting them up there. So if you haven't had a chance, get in there. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, I do this live on Mixer and Twitch. HellKell X, definitely tune in. Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Come in, check it out, join chat. And like I said, join in. People throw comments, commentary. It's a good time, I think, for me. And what's up, Drew? You finally got a win in Fortnite? Okay. Put the clip up on the club. I'll check it out. Am I going to do BL3 tonight, Gary? I probably won't. On Saturdays, I've been keeping it just to Urban Legends. I've been trying to stick to this format, only because I know in the summertime, I'm going to be out camping, I'm going to be gone. So I'll at least be able to do these while I'm away. Lucas, man, how you doing? Appreciate the follow. Lucas McVaden. So once again, Urban Legends, it's a series I have a lot of fun doing. So did I see the new PC? No, I have not, man. If you posted in Discord, I'll check it out. And my week, Lucas, is going phenomenal. Let's get on with some of these stories. Usually, it's give or take close to an hour. Maybe. It depends on how long they are, how motivated I am. Oh, you did? Alright, I'm going to have to check it out. I haven't yet. So, but we're getting there. That's a pig. Thing's awesome. So, our very first story, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is off the actual movie. Get a chance, creepy. Or it's, yeah. It's creepy. I'm not going to say this name completely wrong, but this lady is Kusakiana. Alright? And I don't know if you guys know who that is. She has a better known name. The Slit-Mouthed Woman. Alright. She was well known in the Edo period of the 1600s, but she slowly faded into the shadows as time passed. Then in the early 1970s, she regained the public imagination with a vengeance. Children claimed to see her everywhere around Nagasaki in Japan. Police began to fear there was a crazy killer on the loose as panic grew in each new sighting. They bumped up night patrols and put out local warnings, but they could never seem to find her. And then, in 1979, scares just stopped. Just ended. Just like that. So you're probably asking yourself, who is this lady? And why is she important to folklore? Especially in Japan? Because she's creepy. Like, I'm just gonna tell you. Like, I ain't gonna run into her. I'll punch her in the throat and run. Waving my arms in the air, flailing. You're next to me, I'm gonna push you down and I'm gonna keep running. I'm not ashamed to say it. Alright. But for this lady, alright. One of the articles I pulled this from was a Ranker. Jen Jeffries did a phenomenal job kind of going over some of these details. And as the story goes, a beautiful woman named Kusaki was married to a man, and this man suspected her of being unfaithful. And he was right. She had fallen for another man, and she was planning to leave her husband. Flying into a jealous rage, her husband knocked her out. Just knocked her ass out and tied her up. When she woke, he threatened to kill her if she left him. And he went ahead and used a large pair of scissors to slice her face into a permanent smile, like Joker style. And he responded to her after he cut her face open. Who's going to think you're pretty now? And he went ahead and sliced her head from her body. But when he was done, regret set in and he stabbed himself to death. So that's kind of a horrific tale right there. A little bit of backstory to the folklore. Just, she was getting ready to leave for another man. He killed her, slit her face open, Said nobody's gonna find you attractive. Well, looks are very important to Kusakiana. And this disfigured face aside, she appears as an attractive Asian woman with long black hair wearing a simple beige trench coat. More recently, her legend has morphed to describe her as wearing a surgical mask over her mouth. It's not an uncommon accessory in Japan, given the national level of concern about infectious disease. Thanks to her innocuous appearance, the slit-mouthed woman is able to blend in until she selects her prey. So that sounds creepy enough. I'd be worried enough about diseases. You got corona running around. This is prior. Alright, the slit-mouthed woman can come for you when you least expect it. And her mouth is always covered by a mask, fan, or scarf to hide her disfigurement. As she waits in the shadows as you pass by, and before you can react, she's in front of you and blocking your path, holding a pair of large scissors, and she'll ask, "Am I pretty?" And before you can answer, she'll reveal her face and a mouth sliced in a hideous grin, exposing her teeth and tongue. "Am I pretty now?" she asks. And what would you say? You know what? I would already be running. Probably be my downfall, but I'd be out of there already. But what would you guys in chat say? If you saw this, she came at you, slick grinning, tongue hanging out, and she wanted to know if she looked pretty, what would you guys in chat tell her? You'd say yes? Alright. Like I said, myself, I would be running. I would be out of there. Bye, Felicia. Peace out, Girl Scout. Whatever. Not having it. Throat punch and running. Alright. Shotgun to the face. Nah, you're not carrying a shotgun with you everywhere. Plus, I think they're outlawed over in Japan. You can't carry guns. Alright. So, like I said, what would you say? If you say yes or try to scream, she will mercilessly slash your face so it looks just like hers. And guess what? Running is no use because she's eerily quick and might cut you in half out of anger. And if you say no to her question, she'll walk away. For now. But she'll follow you home, watching your every move, and she's going to kill you in your sleep. Some people claim they know how to escape. One way to survive is through distraction. In this, you ask yourself, well, how might I do this? How am I going to buy myself enough time to run? But evading her deadly question can also be a matter of choosing one's words carefully. The key is to stay unruffled and calm when she asks, "Am I pretty?" You could respond with, "You're okay," or "You're so-so." You could also flip the question and ask, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And as she pauses to consider, you can slip away. That is the story of the slit-mouthed woman. Like I said, man, that's a creepy one. I would hate to run into that Japanese folklore. They're definitely creepy. Mr. Honda coming in with that super duper auto host on Mixer. So yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys thought of that one. Which is definitely something. It'd be over before you woke up. You wouldn't be waking up, so you're absolutely right. And it's definitely creepy, and like I said, there's a movie about it. Check it out. Japanese horror movies, like, I don't know why, but they are creepy. They've gone above and beyond. A lot of American movies do remakes off of Japanese, like, scary movies. And rightfully so. I mean, they're creepy. The Ring, that's one. The Grudge. And there's a bunch more of that I can't think off the top of my head. So somebody's out there watching this in the future, naming them all off, calling me dumb, I bet. So, good on you. So our next story, what are we getting into? What kind of troubles we gonna knock out here? Okay, we got ourselves, I don't know, an honorary Florida woman. Each week, last week I forgot. I got so damn busy I did forget. But we try and do a segment every Saturday called an honorary Florida man. What the honorary Florida man is he's a guy that doesn't live in Florida, but if he did, he would be a true heart, just Florida man. He'd be making headlines as a Florida man. Lucas McVaden. Take your knees out so that you can't run. Yeah, dude, you can't. For that last story, I don't know if you'd be able to. I'd be pushing little kids down and just running. Old lady runs in front of me, I'd toss her at her. I don't know. I'd be screaming. I'd be making like such high-pitched sounds. You'd be questioning my manhood. I'd be tearing ass out of there. So going back to this week's honorary Florida woman. Alright? She's an honorary Florida woman. Alright, I'm going to tell you about this 36-year-old from Ohio, as reported by the HuffPost. She got arrested last week, and you're going to guess, like, why'd she get arrested? Why would anybody get arrested? We're law-abiding citizens. This lady, she got arrested when she repeatedly called 911 to complain that her parents had cut off her cell phone service. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop right there. You're a 36-year-old woman. 36. You're not a kid. I can understand if you're in college. But your goddamn parents at 36 cut off your cell phone? And you called 911? Okay. Alright. I don't know why your parents were still paying your cell phone, but good on them, man. That's some good parenting. Like, I'm jealous, actually. That's phenomenal for them. Super jealous. Officials in Stark County, they arrested this young woman of Jackson Township on February 13th. I guess it was a few weeks ago. Alright, they arrested her after she called the Regional Emergency Dispatch Center demanding that police come to her house, according to the local station. Authorities they didn't know what phone that she used to make the calls. Kind of curious. Obviously, she wasn't using hers. I got disconnected. Dispatchers did tell her that 911 is only there for an actual problem. However, this lady, she kept reportedly calling back even hours later, insisting she felt the lack of a working phone was a legitimate police matter. I'm going to tell you, that's not a legitimate matter. Yeah, if you, she could have used her phone. You're absolutely right. You lose service, you can still make emergency calls. Keep that in mind, people. I forgot all about that, but yeah, you can absolutely make emergency calls. You're gonna you probably won't be carrying a baseball bat when you run into that lady from the previous story. I'm sorry. I don't think you're gonna have much on. You might be coming from the grocery store. You might be able to throw like a bagel at her. So, this lady, like I said, she kept calling. She thought it was a legitimate police matter, not having a phone. Court documents obtained by the Smoking Gun say that she was belligerent during her phone calls to the point that officers decided to arrest her on charges of disrupting public service. That alone is a fourth-degree felony. She appeared in court on Friday and was released after posting a $2,500 bond, according to the Cleveland TV station. So her next court date was, that was a few days ago, on February 27th. Kind of curious how it went. And there's no note as to why her parents shut off her phone service in the first place. I gotta guess. It's probably because she's a goddamn grown-ass woman in her late 30s. That's probably why they shut it off. But who am I? I don't know. Grown-ass woman calling the police on her parents for turning off her phone. She's batshit crazy, right? And I didn't realize that would be a felony either. But according to them, it is. So, all right, that's something. All right, going into our next story. we got ourselves the big feet. All right. And this story right here, this was reported on by Fox News, the most credible news agency ever in the history of forever. All right. So shots fired near Mammoth Cave campsite after alleged Bigfoot encounter, report says. It was Bigfoot country. That's what a man told two campers after allegedly finding his campsite demolished. He said, "I hope you have weapons," and then he flashed his gun. And was like, "Well, I have this, so if anything happens to you, then just yell, I'll come," said camper Durand, as he told WKL, the ABC affiliate in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So yeah, dude found his tent demolished. Found some crazy guy. Well, that's Bigfoot country. Dude pulls out a damn gun. Ocular Bacon, how you doing, buddy? You love it when people call 911 for McDonald's for getting their cheeseburgers? Ah, dude, it takes all kinds of people to make this world go round. Alright, so I'm going to tell you, this lady and her friend Brad Ginn, they were camping at Mammoth Cave National Park on not any particular Sunday when the distressed individual gave them his dire warning and then disappeared. Probably just walked back into the woods, who knows. Alright, the Mammoth Cave National Park law enforcement rangers responded to a report of an individual with a firearm in one of their backcountry campsites. In the early morning hours of Sunday, July 28th, the Mammoth Cave's public information officer, Molly, told WBKO the rangers made contact with all parties involved. And it's an ongoing investigation at this time. I don't really know why it's an ongoing investigation. Guy found his tent demolished. He's like, it's Bigfoot country. I got my gun. It's right here. It's my gun. I hear y'all screaming. Let me know. I'll come running. And then disappeared. And they called the cops on him. That sounded like a good Samaritan. And Bacon, man, I'm doing great. So, in my eyes, I see a good Samaritan. He's like, Bigfoot country. I'm going to protect us in backwood hillbilliness. They called the cops on him. That doesn't seem very neighborly. Not at all. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. Would you guys call the cops on him? I wouldn't. Personally. I would have just gone on about my business, doing my thing, knowing that if I scream like a little girl, this dude's going to come running with a gun. He's going to try and save me from the big feet. That's my take on it. All right. Pizza time. Oh my god, I got something to drink. So this is an actual Florida man. All right. Now I'm going to tell you, this Florida man, he allegedly threatened a family with Coldplay lyrics. And it went into a standoff. All right. A Florida man accused of threatening his family by sending and texting them Coldplay lyrics in a threatening manner and warning them of retribution from his Nazi prison associates was persuaded by police to end a standoff in return for a fresh slice of pizza, reports say. As reported on the Appy Web. So police are like, alright dude, it's a standoff, you're holed up. We're going to get you out. We're going to give you pizza. You want pizza? Make an exchange. Okay, we're good? Pizza? Dude said, I like pizza. So they ended the standoff. Like easy peasy, right? Just hunting Bigfoot. Normal Saturday night. Night Ranger, how you doing? Appreciate that, host. Alright, so, like I said, dude was threatening his family, sending them disturbing, threatening lyrics written by Coldplay. I could think of a lot like hardcore sounding bands than Coldplay. Like when I think of lyrics that are gonna send like threats to somebody, Coldplay ranks up there with like Hanson. Like I don't know. I don't. I'm not too familiar with their work. I do like some of their songs. I just don't think they can be threatening. But he was threatening family members with them, so they got to be something. I'm gonna have to see what lyrics they were. God, maybe Coldplay is like the new death metal. All right, so Evan Charles McLemore, under the belief that the SWAT team negotiators were ready to hand him one of America's favorite foods, was taken into custody Tuesday following a 4-hour confrontation at a Pensacola home. Never underestimate the power of pizza with flavored crust, the Pensacola Police Department wrote on their Facebook. So that's a new one. Denzel Washington should be like the negotiator 3 and just go around offering them pizza. It'd be like a 5-minute movie. Papa John's no deal. What kind of pizza, huh? You know, it didn't say what kind of pizza. It didn't say if it was Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, or any kind of national chain. Did it have flavored crust? Was it like cheese crust? Was it thin, pan, deep, hand tossed? What kind of pizza are we talking about here? We talking like a Quad City style pizza, New York, Chicago? Like what kind of pie is going to be offered to this man to say, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, that's a deal. Let's make a deal. You give me pizza. The standoff that we've had for 4 hours, it's over." Like, did it have pineapples on it? Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. What kind? I'm curious what kind of pizza this man was offered. They should make a marketing commercial. Pizza so damn good, it'll stop a crazy man. Right? I'd buy it. I would be. I'd be all about it. I would buy 2. So our next story, it has to do with music. The beautiful, serene sounds of a violin. I think that's a violin. I don't know music. It's tiny. It's not cello. It's an electric guitar. Nomalien, they did a pretty cool thing with Thought Catalog. 2 different things I kind of referenced. It's a violin. That's what Google told me it was. The Naken. That's a creature we're going to be talking about in folklore. He's a merciless fiddling spirit. And he's amazing at it, apparently. Like, very good at violining. Or fiddler. Yeah, he's a fiddler? No, it's a violin. Either way. What the hell's is a fiddler a violin? So you can tell I never took a music class. What the hell is the difference between a fiddle and a violin? Is it the same thing? You know what? That's why we have Google. Or is fiddling what you do to a violin? Something with the bridge. Yeah, someone who played the fiddle. Okay. Well, the Naken, like I'm going to tell you right now, this thing is a creature in Swedish folklore. He dwells in streams, rivers, forests, lakes, and swamps. If there are blooming water lilies, it's a sign that the Naken is near. And if you want to go for a swim, it's best to first stick a knife into the shore. This will protect you, according to the folklore. So, if you want to be protected and you're near any water, basically, and you stab the shit out of the beach and leave your knife in it, that's going to protect you? Yeah, because people are going to think you're batshit crazy and they're not going to come near you. I think that's going to protect anybody. Alright. Nah, bro. Keep your knife on you. Nah, apparently you're going to want to stick it in the shore as a warning to the water. Alright, so according to ancient folklore, And keep in mind, there are a lot of different local variations. The Naken is a supernatural man who lives in the seas, lakes, streams, and rivers. His mission is to enchant and drown people with his outstanding and fascinating fiddle. When people hear the music, they become enchanted and follow the sound that's coming from the water. He's luring people into the stream, which will be their death. They'll end up dead because they'll drown themselves walking towards the music. So, he's so damn good at playing his fiddle that people they keep going towards the sound and they'll walk into the water and keep going and drown until they find it. That's, okay. It's like, what, Charlie Daniels? See. Alright, some myth. They do say that the Naken was the best folk musician of them all. And if you are brave, you can ask him for violin lessons. Or fiddle lessons. Like I said, I got these from two different sources. One calls it a fiddle, one calls it a violin. The fiddle-in. Alright, but if you want to get lessons from this guy, then you'll need to go to a stream 3 Thursday nights in a row and play. And on the third night, the Naken will appear. Then, you're going to have to bring a black cat, because that's what he wants for payment. Be on your guard the whole time, since the Naken might decide to drown you during the lesson. So, I don't know what the hell he wants a black cat for, but that's going to be your payment. He's going to teach you how to be the best fiddle-in player ever. And you give him a cat. Apparently he likes pet cats. Like 2 of his songs, Add Woolly Swamp to Devil Went Down to Georgia. Right? The Woolly Swamp went down to Georgia. He's looking for a soul to steal. He is in a bind, way behind, and is willing to make a deal. I don't think those were the lyrics. They could be. So yeah, you're gonna go down 3 Thursdays in a row. You're gonna get these badass lessons after giving him a cat. But he's gonna try and drown you if he gets bored of you. So you do got that going on. And keep in mind, if you do piss him off, assuming that's a him, it can transform into an ugly old man who dances naked. And the sight of this is so horrifying, it's been known to drive men mad. What kind of defense mechanism is that? You piss him off so he dances naked? What kind of crackhead enchantment is this? Alright, but I'm going to tell you, having the Naken as your teacher brings great danger to the student. Often ending up in an addiction to supernatural powers, many students play until they lose their minds. And people who listen to the music start dancing, and they can't stop until they die. Pretty much of exhaustion, I'm assuming. The only way to break this spell is for someone to cut off the violin fiddle strings. The Naken is most often naked when he plays, hence his name. Which means naked. And it's spelled Naken, funny dots. Alright, so you often picture him with quite long brown hair and seagrass in it. He always looks sad, like something's torturing him. The legend says the reason why he lures people into the water is he's feeling lonely. And he just doesn't want to be alone anymore. And that's probably why you're getting him a cat. Cats are good companions. Just don't piss him off, because he'll start dancing naked. And it'll be horrifying. It'll drive you insane. You'll lose your minds. Madness. And he teaches some cool enchanting tunes. People just start dancing, they'll stop. When they're like a... We'll talk about that next week. Because maybe it was like someone that learned how to play the violin, fiddle, and from him. The dancing hysteria. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. That might be a fun one to tie in with this story. But yeah, that's crazy story of the Naken, if I'm even saying it right, because it's Swedish and I am not Swedish. So I'm sure I'm not saying it probably anywhere close to what needs to be pronounced. Interesting story. There's a bunch of different variations. I tied kind of two cool little aspects of them together, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Right now, we're going to go off a cool story here from Mysterious Universe. And by far, one of the more well-known of the mysterious lizard men is that of a massive bipedal reptilian creature supposedly native to the U.S. state of South Carolina, where it is variously called Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp, the Lizard Man of Lee County, and the Monster of Bishopville. The first sighting of the creature was made in the fall of 1987 when a man named George Holloman Jr. was riding his bicycle in the vicinity of Scape or Swamp when he stopped near a stream to take a rest and have a cigarette. It was 1987. The dude was probably like 10. Riding his bicycle, smoking, being all cool. Alright, so as he stopped, he sat there. He would claim that what he at first had thought to be a log had suddenly stood up to reveal itself to be a huge reptilian humanoid, standing an impressive estimated 7 to 8 feet high. With red glowing eyes, the monster stood there merely staring at him until a passing car sent it stalking, hauling ass back into the swamp. So yeah, I would already have been like on my bike out. As soon as the log stood up and it looked like something with glowing eyes, I would have been gone. I wouldn't have been sticking around to see what... You asked me how tall it is? I don't know, it's over there. I had enough time to see it for a second before I peed myself. So, this would not be the last sighting of the Swamp Lizard Man. Of the Swamp Lizard Man. It's not going to be the last one. And far more widely publicized report would further push it into the public conscience. In the early morning hours of June 29th, 1988, a young man named Christopher Davis was driving along a dark and remote road through the woods of Scape or Swamp in the area near Bishopville, South Carolina. This is when he got a flat tire and got out to fix it. As soon as the spare was put on, Davis would be met with a terrifying sight. As a very large and apparently very aggressive reptilian mystery monster dashed from the gloomy wilderness to give him an experience he would never forget. When it's written like that, you're like, it's gonna give him an experience he ain't ever gonna forget? Like, Lizard Man out back fucking handing out handies? Like, run! You got a tire on your car. You ain't, yeah, banjo music. You don't have time to get, like, an experience you're never gonna forget. Leave. Like, run. And you see a kid hauling ass on a bicycle, like, just go that direction. Don't ask. As soon as, like, you get to the end, like, what are we running from? And if he's like, I was riding my bike, then you're cool. Just go about your business. I'm that person, like, if I see people running, I'll find out why we're running together as a team. I'm not going to find out for firsthand. I don't need to. That ain't, So, Davis will go on to say and explain kind of what happened. I looked back and I saw something run across the field towards me. It was about 25 yards away and I saw red glowing eyes. I ran into the car, and as I locked it, the thing grabbed the door handle. I could see him from the neck down, and it had 3 big fingers. The long black nose and green rough skin. It was strong and angry. I looked in my mirror, and I saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes, and then he jumped on the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt, and then I could see his fingers through the front windshield. Where they curled around the roof, I sped up and swerved to shake the creature off. After the menacing creature was gone, Davis sped home as fast as he could. And he would notice that not only was his rearview mirror totally destroyed, but that there were various deep gashes along the roof of the vehicle and some of the chrome on the fenders had been torn away. He told the whole dramatic story to his father, who then called the sheriff. Liston Truesdale was the guy's name. That's kind of a unique name. I thought it was going to be a goddamn town. Liston Truesdale. Sounds like it'd be in like Arizona. But the sheriff, he was a bit skeptical. I don't see why he's a bit skeptical. First off, I would be gone. I'd be the guy in the car hauling ass. I wouldn't be around to ask questions. Like, I would just piece the hell out, right? That's just what would happen. Gone. But it broke off his mirror. I'm assuming they're the mirrors like on the front of the car. You got one on each side. Sounds like it's a bit of an older car. So, dude probably went off-roading in his dad's fucking car. And he made up the story. Me being a dad myself, I'm not going to call the cops right away about something like that. I'm going to inquire. Alright, son, you did what? This dude, he just 100%, like, that's my boy. He says he got chased by a lizard man with 3 fingers and claws, and he's jumping on the car like some kind of crazy Batman. And alright, so he called the sheriff. I can imagine how, like, skeptical this sheriff must have been. Alright, and although the damage to this vehicle was just as this young Davis had said, Truesdale suspected that it had been the work of pranksters, and that the boy had then made up the whole story of the swamp lizard. He was so suspicious of the outlandish story that he had Davis take a lie detector test. And he surprisingly passed. I'm kind of surprised by that. It sounded legit, doesn't it? Like, watch out for lizard men. And there's more stories, you ever get a chance to read them, about that area and the lizard man. Some of them are pretty cool. And some aren't. So we got ourselves another Florida man. Not an honorary one, but like a true real life Florida man. This was reported on by Local 10. Down in Florida, I'm assuming. But if not, you can definitely check out an article anywhere on Google. Bunch of different places. Yeah, it was South Carolina. You wonder how many are voting today? Well, it depends if they run into the lizard man. Wonder if lizard man's going to be voting. Should vote for me. Kill for whatever they're running for. How many lizard men can vote? Well, I don't know. Hopefully all of them can vote for me. Hopefully. But this next story is going to be from Palm Beach, Florida. Alright, this Florida man was arrested after he drove up to President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. And he told a Secret Service agent that he was there to talk to the president about his $6.3 trillion. And he refused to leave, police said. I'm sorry, but I want someone to owe me $6.3 trillion. A lot of money. So allegedly, Brian Whitehurst, 30 of Lake Wells, was arrested Sunday on a trespassing charge. And according to the Palm Beach police report, Whitehurst parked in the service entrance area of the Mar-a-Lago club. Told Secret Service agent Tim Donahue he needed to talk to the president about his $6.3 trillion. And said that he had a reservation to stay at the resort. Donahue told Whitehurst he didn't have a reservation and he'd have to leave, but Whitehurst refused and said he'd have to be arrested. And guess what? He was arrested on a misdemeanor charge and released on his own recognizance. So, this happened back in January, is when his arraignment was set for, January 22nd, in a Palm Beach County courtroom. Alright, so the dude's going to the president's resort, asking for $6.3 trillion. Like that's normal. And they released him on his own recognizance? No wonder people break the law down in Florida. Right. Lady calls 911 for a cut-off cell phone and it's a felony. This dude, all he wanted was the $6.3 trillion. I guess that's not illegal. I wish it would have gone into more detail of why he feels like he's owed $6.3 trillion. Like, okay. But they released him on his own recognizance? They didn't do like, alright buddy, we're gonna have to fill you out for a minute and see what's going on up there. Like like I could see you're driving, but there's nobody behind the wheel. That kind of. Did he have a goat in his car? It added to the story. No, he's not like the guy who had a goat in his car at a porn store that got carjacked. And I still am trying to figure out why he had a goat in his car at a porn store while his friend was inside shopping. What the hell kind of partying were those guys gonna do? I'm still trying to figure that one out. That is, it's beyond me, because I have no clue. I'm gonna have to see if we can do a recap, because I think we all need to know. Alright, so here's the image you first saw. So what we kind of started with. This is reported on by The Sun, Mr. Paul Harper. And you're wondering why, man, that's a dashing, photogenic looking pig. Kel, what kind of crazy story do you have for us with a charming looking pig? Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. As I sit up, kind of stretch. All right, a local farmer, Keith. His name's Keith. All right, but this local farmer claimed he saw up to 6 Sasquatch creatures running on his ranch at night. Reported by Fox 26. Keith reported he saw 5 bodies running past his truck's headlight. One of them, which was extremely tall, had a pig over its shoulder, Mr. Gonzalez claimed. Alright. And the 5 scattered, and the one with the pig was running so damn fast it didn't see an irrigation pipe, and it tripped. And the pig went fucking flying. Just like anybody carrying anything, going fast, you trip, you lose, it's gone. Well, these Bigfoots were acting like a bunch of frat guys partying, getting caught by the cops. They just spread out, took off running. This big feet had a pig. Fuck, he tripped. Pig went flying. Pigs do fly if they're being carried by Bigfoot. That's the moral of this story. But I'm going to tell you, the investigator revealed that the past 5 years, they have there's been reports that 3 sightings of Bigfoot have occurred in East Fresno County. He alleged that a woman reported her 2 sons saw Bigfoot in an orchard 5 years ago, and then a man saw a family of ape-like creatures in the same spot a few years later. Following a Sasquatch expedition, he claimed to have discovered prints on his car, which a DNA expert found matched a gorilla. He keeps a footprint mold of what he believes is the Bigfoot, which was retrieved following one of the orchard sightings. Mr. Gonzalez said that he never guessed in a million years this part of California would become such a hot spot and plans to install cameras near the orchards. He said, "What are the odds of 3 people, 3 different families who don't know each other within a radius of 2 to 3 miles come and tell me what they witnessed and it all matches up?" And we're going to stop there for a minute. So you're wondering what the odds are of 3 people? What were their stories? I saw something that was tall, had big feet, a lot of fur. It was by the orchard. If those are the only details you're getting, that's like every goddamn Bigfoot sighting in the history of forever. Of course they're going to match up. But okay. You know, there apparently could have been more encounters, but people do not report them for fear of being ridiculed. Added Mr. Gonzalez, and I could see that. So I was talking to somebody here the past last Saturday, and their uncle actually has a Bigfoot like video. It's on YouTube. And I was asking them about it because I actually know this person, and if they tell me something, I kind of believe them. I trust them. They got no reason to lie to me. And they said that's how this guy was, like their uncle. They're like, I kid you not, the guy went on like his entire, life until he passed away, believing that what he caught on film was Bigfoot. And I've seen the video. It's on YouTube. And it's either a damn good costume or it's something that looks like Bigfoot, but the dude quit his job over it. That'd be an insane sighting. Like just craziness. I can't even imagine. So those are the stories I have for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed them. I enjoy doing them. Oh yeah, it's like every UFO sighting. Every single one. Alright. Well, they all match up. They gotta be real. What'd they see? Bright lights. Okay, so you're gonna tell me because they saw bright lights, everybody's story's similar, so they have to be true? Now, I do believe there's things out there we can't explain. And listening to like stories by like Dan Aykroyd and people like that, where you're like, okay, this guy has everything to lose, and he's going to tell you this is exactly what he saw on different occasions. He has nothing to gain and a whole lot to lose by telling you he's seen UFOs. So when Dan Aykroyd comes out and he tells you that, you gotta believe him. I got no reason not to. I've never experienced it, but that doesn't mean there's things that can't be explained. And UFO, yeah, you're absolutely right. It means unidentified. So, anything that's an unidentified flying object is a UFO, but is it terrestrial, extraterrestrial? Is it submersible? So many different things. So, like, once again, I have a absolute blast doing these on Urban Legends. If you guys did miss them, make sure you hop on YouTube later tonight. Check them out because I will post them. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube, join the fun. Join in the chat. I'm on Mixer, HellKell, and I'm on Twitch, HellKell. Join one of them. Join in the chat. We do this pretty much every Saturday right around 6 p.m. We don't do it right on the dot because I'm lazy, and sometimes we'll do it 5-10 minutes later. And Bangy Shark, how you doing, buddy? You're showing up to the game a little bit late. Underwater UFOs are amazing. So yeah, that's a good one. If you guys got some phenomenal underwater UFO stories, send them to my Discord. Pop in, let me know what they are, and we'll try and do more about it. Other than that, it's been a blast doing Urban Legends this Saturday. I hope you guys have a phenomenal weekend, and I will see you guys later.